Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We have witnessed history in NASCAR for the first time ever. We have a driver who has won the first 3 races of a season. This series has been around since 1948. And now, for the first time, Tyler Reddick, the one man that stands alone as the only person to ever win the first 3 races of a season. Tyler Reddick stands alone. Not Dale Sr., not Richard Petty, not Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. Nobody else on God's green earth can say this. Tyler Reddick is the only one, as he wins at COTA. Now, to do this at with the style that we have, with what the races are, you have the Daytona 500, which you need so much luck to do. And then you have Atlanta in its current configuration. You need a little bit of luck there too. And then COTA, well, luck's not going to save you there. And I'm not saying Tyler Reddick got lucky at Daytona or at Atlanta, but Lady Luck can look at you 2 different ways. And right now, all the eyes of the Irish are smiling on Tyler Reddick. I'm Dylan Hildreth. This is Hildreth Motorsports Network. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any NASCAR, Formula One, IndyCar, all that. We cover that right here. Well, we're doing NASCAR, but the IndyCar one will be coming out tomorrow. The review on that. I was at work during IndyCar, so I didn't get to do an immediate reaction to it like I am with this. But nonetheless, let's dive right on in. So Tyler Reddick, as we already mentioned, he went out and he had himself a race. SVG, he finished second. He did not have a very good day. Well, by his standards, he led 2 laps. He finished second. So, for the average human being, he had a good day. But he had some ups, some downs, but at the end of the day, cream rises to the top, and Shane Van Gisbergen is the best on the road course, and there's no denying that. But Tyler Reddick, he dominated this thing. 58 laps led, most of anybody by far. Chase Briscoe, the only one who finished, who had Briscoe led 8 laps. Ryan Blaney led 11. So he outpaced the field. He outclassed him. The only driver. Never mind. Kyle Larson had a lap that was a little bit faster. He is one of only 2 drivers to get around this place in under 100 seconds. And he also comes away with the most points. Christopher Bell, he kind of snuck his way in there. Ty Gibbs, he finishes 4th. He had him. He got some strategy for him. Was able to get back up there. Michael McDowell, same thing. Strategy got him up there. Good on McDowell and that squad for using strategy. There's a loud ass. Oh my God. Distracted me. Larson, he comes home 6th. Elliott beats Blaney at the line by the closest of margins. AJ Allmendinger, he gets himself a top 10. To my understanding, his cool suit stopped working, and from what it looked like on the broadcast, it looks like he collapsed out of the car. It looks like it was dehydration. Medical team was there. He was being hauled away. He looked like he was okay. So hopefully that is the case on that. So I think AJ is going to be okay. From my understanding, the cool suit stopped working. I think it was the same thing with Larson. I heard a couple of cool suits that broke. But anyway, by the way that it looked, and I am by no means a medical professional, I would have the bedside manner of Dr. House with none of the ability. But by the way that it looked, he looked like he was dehydrated. Medical team was there. They were taking him off on a stretcher. He was up. He was alert. So I think it was a little bit of dehydration. So everything will be okay. Denny Hamlin, he gets himself a top 10 after having a couple of rough races. So he's going to start climbing up. He should have a pretty nice chunk going up into the standings. Bubba Wallace, he comes home 11th. Kyle Busch, 12th after having he had some moments today. William Byron, he came home 13th. Connor Zilich, 14th after all the issues that he's had. Holy cow. Joey Logano, 15th. Ty Dillon, 16th. John Hunter, 17th. Preece, he had himself a couple of fights. One with the 17, Chris Buescher at one point. Keselowski coming home 20th. And you got to remember, he's still healing up a skiing accident with his leg. Something with his leg. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he fought through and it came home with the top 20. Suarez, a little bit of a pit strategy boneheadedness, got him back to 25th. Barry had some issues. Jesse Love, Stenhouse, Custer, Hocevar. It was Hocevar. Chastain, his tire came off, but he had a pretty decent car. He was one of the fast cars there for a while. Briscoe, he had his transaxle broke, and then Alex Bowman, he finally stepped out of the car. He was feeling under the weather, and Myatt Snyder finished the race out for him as he comes back about 9 laps down. About 9 laps down. So Tyler Reddick is your COTA winner. Reddick, he is the first to win the first three races in a Cup season. 2311 becomes the first team to win the first three since Petty Enterprises in 1963. So that's a little nugget for you via NASCAR Insights. I wonder if there's any other kind of cool nuggets there. Nope. Nothing relevant. And then this is what the final lap looked like at...
Gordon is out of breath. That's 3 weeks in a row. 77-year history of NASCAR, Michael. This has never been done. What can you say about the domination by your team today?
It's time for change. Time for change, and the guys feel the same thing. And Tyler came in with the most pressure, I guess. Everybody expected him, or he had a chance to win 3 in a row. That's the hardest one to win, And he kept to his strategy, and, man, the guys put together a great car, man. And I think Billy did an unbelievable job in calling the game, calling the race, and Tyler did a good job. He beat some good competition. I mean, when you see SVG coming back there, you get a little nervous, but I think he had him covered pretty much the whole day.
Michael, the records, the wins, the trophies, what does this all mean to you as a team owner here in this sport?
Well, I'm proud of the team that we put together. I mean, Denny, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. He feels the same way as I do. And I think a lot of credit goes to him because I think he's the mastermind behind finding Tyler and putting together, Billy Scott and all that. Look, I just put up the money. I'm just a competitor. But I think Denny's done an unbelievable job in terms of helping build this team. And I think the team has done a good job in just taking our leadership and going out and...
I just put up the money. I mean, good for Michael for being honest. I mean, obviously, Michael knew exactly what he had when partnering with somebody like Denny Hamlin, who is far and away one of the smartest, most insightful drivers we've had in NASCAR. I, honestly, I don't think anybody has a better self-awareness of the sport than Denny Hamlin. And he is, and the effects that Denny Hamlin has had on this sport will be felt throughout NASCAR for the rest of time. And the changes that were made because of what 2311 was willing to do with that lawsuit will be felt by NASCAR for a very long time. It has forever changed NASCAR because now the charters can be privately owned. They're not, I guess, quote unquote, leased, I want to say. But it is but what Michael and what Denny has done for the sport is absolutely incredible. And now all the hard work has paid off here. No more distractions, no more court, nothing, no more NASCAR, at least for 2311. And Tyler Reddick, on the personal side, everything is in a lot more stable of a situation. For those who don't know, his infant son had some major health issues that have now been worked out. And now all he's got to do is focus on being dad and focus on being a driver. And right now, at this very moment, there is nobody better in the world in stock cars than Tyler freaking Reddick. Now, I want to point to some sort of move that happened that made or break the race. But I mean, nobody was beating Tyler Reddick. I mean, his car was just absolutely unbelievable. We've already seen it. He led 58 of the 95 laps. That is pure, unadulterated domination. Absolute domination. And the thing was, it was a good race, too. There was a lot of great racing going on. It wasn't one of those snooze fests that we have come accustomed to. It has been. It was a very, very good race. It was exciting. There was a lot of passing, a lot of controversy. I believe it was Larson and Bell were having conversations after the race about the racing, and had some. There may or may not have been some choice words. I'm not 100% sure. And then just kind of going through, and it's already funny to see the oh, that's interesting. Hold the phone. We got a side by side here. So obviously Tyler Reddick would be leading in any point standings in the history of NASCAR with 3 wins. Well, unless the second place car won both stages during the playoff era. Make sense of that, of what you will. But nonetheless, so the point standings. Let's see if it's updated. Okay, yes, it is updated. So, Chase Elliott would be ahead of Bubba Wallace. So that gets flip-flopped. Shane Van Gisbergen would be 4th. He's 5th. Blaney is 4th. So Blaney's down to 8th in the old standings. So, I guess it makes sense because Blaney's got 34 stage points. So Blaney living on the stage points. SVG, he went up 23 spots. Oh my God. 186 points. Ryan Blaney is 4th, 86 points behind. That is insane. utterly unadulterated insanity. From first to fourth, 86 points. That is 2 races. Tyler Reddick could go home for 2 weeks, not do a doggone thing, and he will still more than likely be in the top 3. That is the kind of gap Tyler Reddick has built. And let's see. Logano dropped 4. Suarez up 5. Dinger up 14. McDowell up 8. Hocevar down 1. Hocevar still in the top 10. Wow. Good for Carson. Buescher down 4. Keselowski down 6. Byron up 5. Let's see. The biggest mover. Well, obviously it's going to be SVG because he went up like 23 spots. So SVG, the biggest winner, not named Tyler Reddick, as he is up 23 points. Hamlin jumps up 10. Ty Gibbs up 9. Preece up 8. Briscoe up 10, despite having a horrific finish after some mechanical issues. Gillen up 5. Zilich only up 2, despite having his issues. And then, wow, Alex Bowman, after 3 races in a Hendrick car, only 23 points. Only leading Casey Mears and BJ McLeod. BJ McLeod has only been in 2 races. Casey Mears has only been in 1. And of the charter teams, Alex Bowman is dead last. And we talked about this. I talked about this with that first thoughts with the Cup preview. This is make it or break it for Alex Bowman. And I get he wasn't feeling good today. It happens, unfortunately. But this is not the start that you want to have in a make it or break it type of year, especially with the way that we saw Corey Day yesterday before he and Zilich got together in the O'Reilly series. And I want to talk a little bit of Corey Day first before we get any further. People seem to forget it takes time to get used to going to the Xfinity cars or the O'Reilly cars. Excuse me. And people forget that when William Byron won the Xfinity series, when it was Xfinity, he didn't start winning till about halfway through the year. Zilich, I think it took him a minute to win some races. 20, 25, Xfinity series. Like it took it took a little bit for Zilich to actually win, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Can we get the winners? Why is this so much more difficult than it needs to be? Like, what in the world? Can I get an easily readable chart? There we go. There we go. Okay, so Zilich, he won this would have been the road course, which, that's okay. And then after that, Connor Zilich gets snuffed from the board from winning in his historic run a year ago until we get to Sonoma. Still hasn't won an oval yet. Oh, wait. He won at Pocono with Dale Jr. on the box. Okay, so let me see. So race 16. So a little more than halfway through the year is when Zilich finally started breaking through, and then you got Zilich winning in Sonoma, at Dover, Indy, the Glen, Wawa was Daytona. What was this one? Portland, New Way at St. Louis, and then you just had Bristol was Almirola. That was the Roval. So, yeah, it's going to take a minute for Connor Day to get to it. So, give Corey Day a little bit of time. William Byron was the same way. The last two child prodigies. Give them a little bit of time. It'll be okay. It's going to be okay. We'll see the 17 in victory lane soon enough. So, let's see what else is there. Yeah, okay. So Zane Smith. I know I went on just a wild tangent there. But yeah, so that's what the old point system would be for Tyler Reddick, or for the Winston Cups. Oh, here's the full list. Brad Keselowski would be 7th. Blaney 8th. Zane Smith, Daniel Suarez, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Ty Dillon. Hocevar 14th, so he would be down a little bit. Wow. And Alex Bowman would be 36th. But yeah. So if we get some more races like we did outside of the finish from Corey Day like that, then we're going to see Corey Day in the 48 in 2027. So, and I would highly recommend following this account because it's going to be something that I'm going to be a lot more diligent about following. Okay, yeah. So, check and see if there's any sort of breaking news. See if there's any sort of breaking news around NASCAR before. What's going on? But yeah, and then I did see a couple of them. I did see a couple of guys on X, and whether they were joking or not, I don't know. And you know what? It's something to entertain, so I'm going to entertain it. The conspiracy NASCAR is in full swing. You have this whole lawsuit, this whole settlement where it kind of looked like 2311 got a lot of what they wanted. And then all of a sudden they start winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and are undefeated thus far in the season. I mean, obviously you couldn't do Bubba Wallace because that wouldn't be believable. Riley Herbst, so that's even less believable. So obviously it'd be Tyler Reddick to go out and make history. So playing a little NASCAR conspiracy. As there are throughout history of NASCAR, there are conspiracy theories. And they're fun to entertain. So we're going to entertain it. So, is NASCAR letting 2311 get away with a little bit more than what they should to help them win? Obviously, I'm going to say no. Because that would bring so many legal complications if it was ever discovered. And, if it were, then there would absolutely be some sort of disgruntled employee being like, hey, hey, we want to hear a story? Anyway, I don't think there's actually anything nefarious going on. Obviously, that'd be absolutely insane. But it's still funny to talk about. The reality is, a lot of the distractions, whether it be something over as something as the court case, or something as serious as your kid being your infant kid having serious medical issues. Yeah, your mind's not going to be on what your mind needs to be on to be great in NASCAR. And everything just so happened to begin to fall into place for Tyler Reddick this year. He now knows he is going to be, his ride is safe for the rest of his career. He is not going to have to go around looking for teams or running as an open car for the rest of his contract. Everything is beginning to come together. And you have one of the brightest owners in this sport, in Denny Hamlin, one of the smartest there is. You have somebody like Michael Jordan, who is willing to do whatever it takes to win. We know that, there's no question on that. That this isn't a hobby for Michael. This is he's putting his heart and soul into this. We showed the clip. That is very clear and very obvious. And everything is just seemingly coming together for Tyler Reddick. I'm incredibly happy for him. I'm happy that his kid's healthy. I'm happy that he's still with 2311. And I'm very happy to see someone like Michael Jordan so invested in this that we're seeing that competitive fire from Michael we haven't seen since he donned the red and black in Chicago. So, very good to see. Really cool to see history. We got to witness that today. Good for Tyler Reddick. Congratulations on making insane history. Tomorrow will be the review of the IndyCar race where Alex Blow dominated. Dominated late. That was just a whole weird situation. And as far as the Xfinity, the O'Reilly Auto Series race, I mean, that last restart was everything you needed to know about it. It was, you had a bunch of cars flying off into the turn, and the only one who made that turn perfectly was Shane Van Gisbergen, because he is absolutely unstoppable. And quite frankly, it's not a huge secret to what he did in the O'Reilly series. He didn't overcook turn one like pretty much everybody else in that series. And then in the truck series, and I have to talk about this because I was wrong. I thought this was going to be an utter crap show. I thought this was going to be slot cars. I was wrong. I was pleasantly wrong. I am very happy that I'm wrong. My God, was this a good race. You had racing at the front. Layne Riggs, Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes putting on a show at the front late. With Chandler Smith coming, Caden Honeycutt. He had himself a nice little day. Let's see. And then you had Dario Franchitti. He was running top 10 for most of this race, and then he had an issue. Did it Hinch? Yeah, Hinch snuck his way into the top 10 late. So that was cool to see from at least someone who kind of grew up watching Dario and Hinch and IndyCar come over to the trucks and run as well as they did. Obviously, for Dario, the results doesn't show it, but he had himself a nice day for being not in NASCAR for over a decade. So, very happy that I was wrong about this. Would really like to see them do a little bit more with St. Petersburg. I wouldn't put the Cup there quite yet. Obviously, I don't think the Cup is quite on the table at all for St. Pete, just because it's the same state as the Daytona 500, and that is a lot to ask out of an economy to have two races there in 3 weeks. It was dumb when they did something similar with Homestead. I know it was very close. It was like within a month. So obviously, I don't think St. Pete is going to be quite in the realm of possibility given when IndyCar goes there. And obviously, I don't want IndyCar to change the schedule to cater to NASCAR. I think St. Pete is a great spot to open up. But I wouldn't mind seeing a St. Petersburg Grand Prix in NASCAR, or whatever they want to call it, because this is the only one that they like market as a Grand Prix, is this race. Now, the O'Reilly Auto Parts, I haven't spent as much time on it because I didn't get to quite watch as much, but I watched as much as I could. I did see that final restart with Shane, Hill, Sammy. I really was hoping Sammy would pull it off. Obviously, he didn't. Corey Day actually came home 5th. I thought he had some issues. But who was the had the issue then? Zilich and all right. Interesting. Okay, maybe I don't know what it all exactly happened. But Corey Day finished 5th. I would expect, as I mentioned earlier, I think he's going to gradually improve as we get throughout the season. And I'm going to go out on a limb. It's going to give me the option. Yes, it is. Sometimes it doesn't like to give me the option that I want. I'm going to go out on a limb. And I'm going to say his first win, Corey Day's first win, comes at the Rock. April 4th. That's my prediction. And you know I'm good at these predictions. I got Austin Hill right, but that's kind of that's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel. So, but I did get 3 of the top 4 right in the Circuit of the Americas. I had Tyler Reddick winning. I had SVG in the top 4. I had Ty Gibbs in the top 4. I did have Connor Zilich, which we were headed that way until he had some issues. I think that was who I was thinking of. But anyway, I was right. I'm good at predicting these things. At least for now. Could be wrong later, but, we'll see what happens. But very happy with the weekend in NASCAR. St. Petersburg, fun. Circuit of the Americas, both races were very good. Very entertaining. So, all right. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.